Hey everyone, Zotac here again, this time with a replay from the Zotac Cup number 321. And this time on Echo Isles, we've got spawning in the top left position as the Pink Night Elf. We have a Nickerr59. And currently Nickerr59 is down 1-0 in this series to his opponents spawning in the top right as the light blue human. We've got Inquisitive Hawk. So the previous game, Inquisitive Hawk was able to beat down Nickerr59 quite convincingly. He had a lot of riflemen and was just able to pick away, especially with that upgraded range for the rifleman, just able to do significant amounts of damage and able to hang back quite a bit more. Quite a nifty play there by Inquisitive Hawk, actually just getting a little bit of a speed boot with that militia for a second or so, rushing over there to build that farm. I guess the question always is for the peasant, why does the peasant get faster when he puts on armor? But it is a mystery that may never be solved. Now we do have an Ancient of War being built very close to this creep camp. Actually two creep camps. So there should be some Ancient of War creeping by Nickerr very soon. And the Moonwell placement is very strange. It's very forward. I'm kind of curious why Nickerr59 has placed the Moonwells as he has. But, I mean, he's a pro player, so he knows what he's doing. I'm just a guy. And it looks like the Archer might be pulling some creeps over to that Ancient of War very soon. Backup Wisp will be placed in position just in case that Ancient of War needs some repairing. And it looks like, yes, the Archer will be running away. No, that Wisp is actually going to be trying to, yes, getting behind that mercenary camp. At the same time, looks like that Wisp is going to be able to scout out what Inquisitive Hawk is doing. And, oh, a Shadow Troll Priest has been hired, so very interesting. The Footman has been able to spot that Shadow Troll Priest. At the same time, we do have some militia creeping by Inquisitive Hawk, focusing down on this orange creep. The Renegade Wizard is being targeted down. Has to be careful here. This militia is down to 7 life. Positive attack +9 has been dropped. Archmage has not picked it up as of yet. At the same time, it looks like we do have the Gnolls here. And, oh, very interesting. The first hero is going to be that Dark Ranger. It's not very interesting. Choosing the Dark Ranger over the Demon Hunter. And it looks like the Dark Ranger will be able to pick off some of these units. The Dark Ranger is a very good creeping unit, obviously, because once you're able to fire that Dark Arrow, once you're able to kill one of the creeps, you will get another creep that can tank for you. So that is very cool for the Dark Ranger. Now, it looks like the Archmage is already up to level 2. So we will get that Brilliance Aura. Now, at the same time, it looks like the Dark Ranger is going to be able to clear out this Renegade Wizard, getting to level 2. And Boots of Speed has been dropped, so at least Nickerr59 will not have to buy the Boots of Speed. Has to be very careful here. He's walking into that Lightning Shield on that Archer, taking additional damage. That Archer's actually causing quite a bit of havoc. And at the same time, looks like Inquisitive Hawk is going to clean out this Ogre Magi creep, able to get a Ringer Protection +2. Now, he has to be very careful here, as the Dark Ranger is moving that way. And that could be very bad, as there is a lot of militia here, and militia are quite easy to kill, and then they will turn into skeletons. And it looks like Inquisitive Hawk is going to try and speed build a tower here. This may not be that well advised. Now, the Archers are going to do significant amounts of damage to the Footmen, but the Footmen do bonus damage to the Archers, so the Archers have to be very careful here. The Dark Ranger is to the right. This is interesting. I'm not sure why the Dark Ranger is walking around away from the army. And down to 55 life. This Dark Ranger might not survive if she sticks around for much longer. 27 life is going to run away for the time being. And Inquisitive Hawk has been able to hold off this small offensive for now. And it looks like the Footmen are going to give chase. And the Dark Ranger is going to get back to her army. And the Footmen are going to try and actually cut down on that Dark Ranger, but not able to do so. Dark Ranger escapes with 23 life. Now, Nickerr59 is upgrading to the Tree of Ages, but Inquisitive Hawk is still stuck on Town Hall because he is trying to build a fast expansion, and he is going to be able to finish it as there are no units nearby. Now, Inquisitive Hawk is going to be very aggressive here. Now, remember, his hero is at level 3. The Dark Ranger is at level 2. So, a bit of a hero differential, and that Water Elemental is very big. And it looks like the Forest Troll piece will go down. And the Footmen are targeting down on that other Troll Berserker. But have to be very careful here, as that Footman doesn't have that much life, has a Dark Arrow on him. And the Dark Ranger is going to be able to chase down that Footman, I think. And yes, he's going to get to level 3 off that Footman kill. And now Inquisitive Hawk's army has basically been totally mutilated. But he's still sticking around here, getting rid of that constructing Moonwell. And now he is going to retreat for that time being. An Arcane Vault is being set up at that expansion. And with that expansion, you can really get a lot of units, obviously. Especially when you're out mining your opponent 2 to 1, and so that is the advantage, obviously, of getting the fast expansion. But you do have to remember, when you do have that fast expansion and you're still stuck on low upkeep, you do get a lot of gold, but the extra peasants do take up quite a bit of supply. So generally, your army size is going to be slower if you want to stay on low upkeep. So that is something to be aware of, as Inquisitive Hawk is going to move in here. And it looks like possibly, yes, dual Ancients of Lore for Nickerr59. Now, if you take a look at the size of that army, I think Nickerr59 is quite a bit larger. 27 over 50. Inquisitive Hawk is actually much larger. Very interesting. 36 to 27, but remember, a lot of that supply is peasants. Now, it looks like that Dark Ranger is taking a lot of damage once again. And so it looks like the Dark Ranger is going to have to run around back. The archers are coming in here to reinforce his position, trying to focus down on this Forest Troll Berserker. Forest Troll Berserker does die, and that's a very big Dark Minion taking on those creeps unnecessarily. And the Dark Ranger is going to be able to escape with 37 life. So once again, the Dark Ranger just being very, very annoying and able to escape. It looks like that Wisp on the far right of the map will get taken down. But the Dark Ranger has been escaping narrowly with her life consistently, and that's a trademark of a very, very aggressive and lucky hero. Inquisitive Hawk is almost at level 4 with his Archmage. I haven't seen the Keep. Nope, the Keep is being upgraded as we speak, and we do have a Pandaren Brewmaster out now. So it looks like 2 Tavern Heroes for Nickerr59. A Breath of Fire is put down. Not able to do that much damage, but the Forest Troll piece might go down. No, going to be able to escape with 22 life. The Ancient of War is in the red. The Water Elementals are focusing down as well. The Footman and the Ancient War will go down, and the Archmage does get to level 4. And it looks like the Pandaren Brewmaster is going to have to run to the right side and will come back, placing a Breath of Fire, doing significant damage to a lot of units. And where did this Rock Golem come from? That's very far, that Rock Golem. And it looks like that Dark Ranger is going to be focused down by dual Water Elementals as well as that Archmage. And Inquisitive Hawk is going to retreat for the time being, doing some damage, destroying an Ancient of War and picking off some units. But we do have 2 Ancients of Lore here, so this is a very interesting placement, as it is very far away from that main base. And it looks like we are going to get a Tree of Life, so Nickerr59 is going to try and even up the economic bases as the Dark Ranger and the Pandaren Brewmaster creep out this Orange Creep camp at the marketplace. That Ogre Mauler is very large, but it is going to go down eventually. Yes, it does go down. And now Inquisitive Hawk is going to engage her. Another Breath of Fire is put down, targeting that Dark Ranger. Dark Ranger is taking a lot of damage, is slowed. Finally is going to be able to back off down to 112 life. Has to be very careful here. You don't want to lose your hero, obviously. At the same time, this Footman is going to take a lot of damage, but actually will survive. No, it is going to fall. Pandaren Brewmaster is going to get to level 2 off that Footman kill. But that Pandaren Brewmaster is taking a lot of damage once again. The heroes are taking a lot of damage for Nickerr59. But Inquisitive Hawk has not been able to kill any of the heroes as of yet. Now, with Dryads joining the army, they're going to be able to dispel that water elemental quite easily. And also going to be able to catch any fleeing units. It looks like this Forest Troll Berserker is finally going to go down. All his comrades have been taken down already. Looks like Arcane Sanctums are going up. 2 Arcane Sanctums and a Workshop are going up for Inquisitive Hawk. And the second hero for Inquisitive Hawk will be that Mountain King. Very, very useful hero with that Stormbolt. And it looks like the goal will be to creep out this area to get to that marketplace. But has to be very careful here, as it looks like Nickerr59 is going to be moving to that position very soon. It's like he's got a map hack or something. He knows exactly what is happening and where. Scroll of the Beast has dropped, not a very useful item, but it can be sold for 200 gold, I believe. And it looks like the Dryads are going to be focused down here. Now, you have to remember, the Footmen do have Defend. And so, the Dryads do significantly less damage. The Forest Troll Berserker is being targeted down. It will fall. And now that Archmage is going to have to get out of there, as he's being surrounded by a lot of units. This Mountain King is almost at level 2. Able to take down that Archer. Going to get to level 2, but that Mountain King is very weak. Throwing down a Stormbolt on that Forest Troll Berserker. Staff Preservation is going to save it. I think this Mountain King is going to fall. Yes, the Mountain King will fall at level 2. The Pandaren Brewmaster will get to level 3 off that slain Mountain King. And the Dark Ranger is going to be pushing forward against this very small army from Inquisitive Hawk. 44 over 54, 41 over 60 for Nickerr59. Inquisitive Hawk is going to have to fall back as another Footman does fall, free of charge. Now, we do have 3 priests here, but with no Footmen and no tanky units, these spellcasters are very, very weak in a head-on confrontation, especially against Dryads, since Dryads are immune to magic. And it looks like the Pandaren Brewmaster and Dark Ranger are going to clean out this Murloc creep camp. At the same time, I'm not sure where this Archmage is going. Maybe his plan is to take down some Wisps. Yes, it looks like that, but now with the Wisps going into that entangled gold mine, I don't think that's going to work out very well. At the same time, we have a lot of Dark Minions from that Dark Ranger. Maybe going for that counterattack instead. Nickerr59 is going to be turning around, as there are 3 guard towers here. With dual water elementals, this Archmage is still trying to harass, but now there may be a counterattack at that expansion, but there are even more towers at this base and mortar teams.
Players' forces are under attack.
So it looks like Nickerr59 is going to have to back off for the time being, and it looks like the Archmage may be able to get to level 5 off this very small creep. Very interesting. Both players are creeping at the moment. That water elemental was dispelled by that Dryad, actually doing quite a bit of damage. Dryad is trying to escape, but the Murloc actually netted the Dryad, and that will give the Archmage level 5. It's a very interesting turn of events. And it looks like here the Dark Minions are going to try and move in here, but that's a lot of mortar teams and guard towers. So Nickerr59 is going to retreat for the time being. And that Archmage does get to level 5, as I said before. So we're going to see some really big water elementals very soon, as Inquisitive Hawk now has that Mountain King as well joining the army, as both players are powering up on 2 economic bases.
Players' forces are under attack.
And both players are laying low for the time being. 5 over 64 Nickerr59, so 16 supply advantage for our human player. A couple priests are left behind. Note they will be joining that army slowly, and it looks like the militias are coming in here as well. Now that Wisp has been able to spot it, and Nickerr59 is going to be retreating for that time being. And I think this is a wise decision to fall back. And it looks like we may be seeing a very large confrontation here. The mortar team able to fire over those trees, and it looks like we're going to be seeing some scout towers being set up behind this tree line. I'm not sure how effective these guard towers are going to be back here. At the same time, it looks like we may be seeing a flank attack by Nickerr59, as half the army has been split up over to the left, half to the right. And with the sight of that flying machine, actually, the mortar team was able to fire a few shots off, doing a little bit of splash damage. And it looks like this sorceress is going to be caught off guard and is going to fall. So that flank attempt may work out a little bit, but it looks like the mortar team is going to be firing on this entangled gold mine over those trees. Very interesting play. Stormbolt does go down on that Pandaren Brewmaster. The gold mine has been destroyed. And the Dryads are going to come in from the right. Pandaren Brewmaster levels up to level 4. The Dark Ranger gets to level 5. A Breath of Fire is placed down. And it looks like, unfortunately, for that Mountain King, he is silenced. He cannot Stormbolt for the time being. The peasants are surrounding that Dryad, hacking away at it with its pickaxes. 2 Dryads do fall immediately. The Porter teams are doing significant amounts of damage. But we have a lot of Druids of the Claw here doing bonus damage to these Spellbreakers. But it looks like with that superior range and firepower, these Mortar teams are going to be able to force these Druids back. The Spellbreakers are taking a lot of damage, but like I said, the Druids of the Claw do bonus damage to the Spellbreakers. So it's not exactly the best position to be in. A lot of the Wisps are going to be detonating. Pandaren Brewmaster does fall. We still have the Dark Ranger here at quite a bit of life, and we got 5 peasants picking away at that Tree of Life. And it's finally going to go down from all that Mortar team blasts. And it looks like Nickerr59 is going to have to retreat here, as another Druid of Claw is going to... No, it's not going to fall. It is going to be able to retreat with that Staff of Preservation. But it looks like these Ancient of Lores are not going to be able to hold up a lot of extra bonus damage from those Mortar teams. The Ancient of Lore has been destroyed very quickly. The Dryad is not going to be able to get out either. The second Ancient of Lore will fall, as Inquisitive Hawk is going to push forward, and he actually speed built a lumber mill. He's going to be building... very interesting. I'm not sure why he put a lumber mill here. And it looks like those peasants will be mining some lumber. The Druids of the Claw are going to be forced to rush in here. The Dryads just go up in a big mess. And it looks like Nickerr59 is in a very difficult position, as the Mortar teams are basically able to fire unopposed. And the Druids of the Claw are now going to be pushing them back. I think that is the key to success, to try and push back these Mortar teams so they don't get so much damage done. And now, being focused down, the Dark Ranger is doing some damage, but I don't think it's going to be enough.